The stars stretched endlessly across the black sky, a tapestry of light that had fascinated humans for centuries. Yet, for all the beauty of space, it was also cruel, unyielding, and deadly. Among the infinite void, only courage, wit, and determination allowed anyone to survive. Captain Alex Rowan had learned that lesson many times, but today it would be tested in a way he had never imagined. Alex's ship, the Starhawk, glided silently toward the ravaged surface of Ziathos 7, a planet forgotten by most of the galaxy. Reports indicated that the alien Princess Lorara, heir to the Zelari throne, was trapped somewhere deep in the ruined cities, a pawn in a ruthless war for power. The Zelari were advanced, their technology far beyond human capability, but even they had failed to reach her. Most believed the mission impossible, yet Alex did not hesitate. Humans were known for many things, and giving up was not one of them. As the planet grew larger in his viewport, Alex reviewed his plan. There were no drones, no automatic ships, no alien reinforcements. Only him, his instincts, and the small crew he had trusted with his life. The map of Ziathos 7 was incomplete, full of broken structures and zones that glowed with dangerous energy readings. Yet he smiled. The unknown was where humans shined. Where others saw obstacles, he saw opportunity. He descended through the atmosphere, navigating jagged canyons and molten rivers. The ship's sensors screamed warnings, but Alex ignored them. He had been trained for danger, but more than training, he had something that technology could not replace: intuition. And intuition told him that the princess was close. Touching down in the remains of a once great city, Alex felt the heat of the planet's core through the floor of the Starhawk. He stepped out into the ash-covered streets, helmet lights cutting through the smoky air. The ruins were silent, but Alex could feel the presence of the enemy. Shadows moved in the distance, but he did not falter. A human's strength was not just in weapons, but in patience and cunning. He would not be caught unaware. "Scans show multiple hostiles in the northern sector," his co-pilot Mara reported through the comms. Her voice was steady, but Alex could hear the tension beneath it. Humans had a strange way of sensing danger before it came. "Good," Alex said, his voice calm. "That means we're on the right path." Towering spires, now cracked and scorched, reached into the ash-filled sky. Bridges that once connected entire districts were collapsed into twisted metal and rubble. The scene was tragic, but Alex could not let despair distract him. Lives were at stake. They reached a massive plaza where the main energy barriers once protected the city. Now the barriers flickered, unstable but still active enough to pose a threat. Alex studied them. Alien security systems were precise and deadly, but they followed rules. Every pulse, every cycle could be predicted. He timed his movements carefully, leaping across the gaps, ducking as energy beams flared around him. Human reflexes and intuition allowed him to navigate where others had failed. At the center of the plaza was a dome, its surface cracked but glowing faintly. Sensors indicated life inside. Alex crouched beside it, activating a portable interface. His fingers danced over the device, bypassing alien encryption with methods that were unorthodox but effective. The dome hissed and sparked, warning him that time was short. But within moments the interface accepted his override. The door began to slide open. Inside he found her. Princess Lorara, young yet regal even in chains and dust, looked up at him with wide, fearful eyes. She was slender, her hair a strange mix of silver and violet, her eyes shimmering like molten gemstones. Despite the fear, there was dignity in her posture. She had not broken under captivity, and that impressed Alex. Humans recognized resilience, and Lorara had it in abundance. "Are you here to help me?" she asked, voice trembling. "I am," Alex said firmly, offering his hand. "I'm Captain Alex Rowan, and I never leave anyone behind." She hesitated, then took his hand, allowing him to lead her through the crumbling interior of the building. Every step was perilous, the floor cracked and unstable. Alex moved deliberately, guiding her past hazards with an awareness that came from years of experience. As they reached the outer perimeter, alarms blared. Hostile forces were converging, alerted by the breach. Alex glanced at the approaching shadows. Standard tactics would have called for retreat, but he shook his head. Humans thrived where others faltered. Improvisation was their secret weapon. "Follow me and do exactly as I say," he instructed. They darted between crumbling walls, using debris as cover. When an enemy drone appeared, Alex grabbed a broken pipe and swung it, disabling the drone with a precise strike. The princess gasped but followed his movements, trusting him. This trust, Alex knew, was the most powerful ally in any dangerous situation. Hours seemed to pass in moments as they navigated traps, enemies, and environmental hazards. At one point, they crossed a narrow bridge over a molten chasm, the structure barely holding. Alex carried Larara across, showing strength and caution every step measured. They reached a transport vehicle hidden among the ruins. "Get in," he ordered. Once inside, Alex powered up the engine and launched the vehicle into the air, escaping the city just as enemy forces closed in. From above, the ruins of Ziathos 7 looked like a scar on the universe. Yet Alex felt no pity. Humanity survived and they thrived not by waiting for perfect conditions, but by acting decisively when it mattered most. Why would you risk your life for me?" Larara asked as the vehicle hummed through the atmosphere. Alex smiled, a faint glimmer of humor in his tired eyes. "Because humans know that helping others is worth more than staying safe. And because sometimes, the impossible is the only thing worth trying." Perhaps there was more to humanity than she had been taught. As the planet faded behind them, the stars stretched out again, endless and indifferent. Yet Alex felt a strange warmth. He had done what others thought impossible, not with superior tech, but with determination, intelligence, and courage. The galaxy would soon learn that humans were not to be underestimated. "Where are we going?" Larara asked. "Home," Alex replied simply, "and then somewhere very far from here where you can be safe." Alex did not know what the future held, but he knew this. Humanity had proven itself once again, not with machines, but with heart, courage, and ingenuity. The journey ahead would not be easy. Political intrigues, alien prejudices, and cosmic dangers awaited them. Yet for now, Alex allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction. He had rescued the princess, against impossible odds. Humans had won, and for a species often underestimated, that was more than enough. The Starhawk drifted silently through the void, leaving the scarred planet of Ziathos 7 behind. Outside the viewport, the stars glimmered like scattered diamonds, serene and indifferent to the chaos humans and aliens left in their wake. Inside the ship, the atmosphere was tense yet quiet, filled with the soft hum of engines and the faint beeping of sensors. Princess Larara sat in a corner, her hands clasped together, staring at the distant stars. Alex Rowan kept his eyes on the navigation console, scanning for threats, though he knew instinctively that danger was never far behind. "You're quiet," Alex said finally, breaking the silence. His voice was calm, almost casual, but it carried a note of curiosity. Larara glanced up, her violet eyes reflecting the starlight. "I'm not used to humans," she said carefully. "I don't know what to think. I was told that your species was reckless, weak, and dangerous." "Reckless only if it helps get the job done. Sometimes that's enough to turn the tide." The ship's sensors had detected an incoming vessel. Alex's eyes narrowed. "We're not alone," he said. He scanned the readouts. "Pirates, small fleet. They've been lying in wait near the asteroid belt." Humans have a way of turning situations to their advantage. Larara watched in awe as he manipulated the ship with a combination of skill and intuition that no algorithm could replicate. "Your species is strange," she said, voice filled with wonder. "You rely on instinct as much as you do on technology." Lasers flashed across space, bouncing off asteroids and illuminating the dark void. Alex didn't panic. He guided the Starhawk through narrow gaps, dodging attacks while returning fire with precision. Every move was calculated, yet it carried the unpredictability of a human mind, something the aliens could never anticipate. Larara's eyes widened as one of the pirate ships tried to flank them. Alex activated a makeshift trap, using the gravitational pull of a nearby asteroid to send the enemy ship tumbling harmlessly into space debris. "Humans can improvise," he said quietly, almost to himself. "We make the impossible look easy." Using every ounce of strategy, courage, and quick thinking, he maneuvered the ship into a hidden tunnel inside a massive asteroid. The pirates followed briefly, then lost contact, confused by the sudden disappearance of their target. Inside the asteroid, Alex exhaled deeply. Larara looked at him with a mixture of admiration and disbelief. "I've never seen anyone move like that." "Your people, you're remarkable. After all I've seen, after you saved me, they were wrong." She began to see the truth in his words. Humans were not just survivors, they were innovators, risk-takers, and fighters in ways her species could hardly comprehend. And Alex Rowan was proof of that. As the Starhawk exited the asteroid belt, the stars opened up into a clear expanse. Alex scanned for safe hyperspace routes to her homeworld. "We need to stay on course," he said. "The faster we get to your planet, the safer you'll be." They encountered rogue comets, malfunctioning satellites, and strange spatial anomalies. Each time, Alex relied not just on technology but on his instincts. He predicted movements, calculated risks, and acted decisively. Larara observed, learning that human ingenuity often lay in the mind as much as in the tools they used. During one particularly calm night, Alex sat beside her in the observation deck. The stars seemed endless, peaceful for the first time since their journey began. "I've never met anyone like you," Larara said quietly. "You don't just fight with weapons, you fight with your mind, your heart. That's different. We fight because it's the right thing, not because it's easy. You learn to survive, to protect, to help others. That's what makes us strong. And they're what make humans humans. We adapt, but they don't know what we're capable of. If you want her, you'll have to go through me." He maneuvered the Starhawk with precision, dodging energy beams and leading the ship into a narrow asteroid field. The enemy's advanced tech was powerful but rigid. Humans thrived on unpredictability. Using every trick he knew, Alex led the alien vessel into a trap among the floating asteroids. The enemy's weapons collided with the rocks, disabling several systems. Larara gasped. How did you do that?" She had always admired her people's strength, their technology, and their discipline. But now she understood that courage, creativity, and determination, the qualities that humans possessed, could overcome any obstacle. Alex Rowan had not only saved her life, but he had also shown her a new way to see the universe. A way where humans, small and underestimated, could stand tall among the stars. And the journey was far from over. The journey through space had been long and exhausting, but at last, the distant glow of Larara's homeworld appeared on the horizon. The Zelari capital, a city of floating towers and radiant energy fields, shimmered like a jewel suspended in the void. Even from afar, Alex Rowan could feel the weight of centuries of tradition and power radiating from the planet. His fingers tapped lightly on the controls as he guided the Starhawk toward the orbital docking station. "Are we really here?" Larara asked, her voice filled with awe and relief. She leaned forward, eyes wide, taking in the sweeping view of her world. "After everything, we've made it. And don't worry, we'll make sure you're safe all the way to the palace." A human had achieved what their most advanced technology and best-trained forces could not. That fact alone unsettled many. As the Starhawk touched down on the docking platform, Alex and Larara prepared to disembark. Guards, clad in sleek armor that shimmered with energy, watched them warily. Alex met their gaze calmly, his stance relaxed but confident. Humans had a way of projecting assurance that few could ignore, and it often unsettled those who relied solely on authority and intimidation. "Follow me," a Zelari officer instructed, gesturing toward a sleek transport vehicle. Larara moved beside Alex, her hand brushing his briefly. That simple contact gave her courage, reminding her of the many dangers they had faced and survived together. The ride to the palace was quiet at first. Larara stared out at the city, absorbing the sights of floating platforms, energy bridges, and buildings that seemed to defy gravity. Alex watched her quietly, noting her reactions. She had been raised in a world of order and hierarchy, yet she had placed her trust entirely in a human. That trust, he knew, was both rare and powerful. "You've changed the way I see humans," Larara said softly. "Before, I thought your species was reckless and weak. Now, I know you are brave, clever, and strong in ways I could not imagine. You create, you protect. That is worth more than all the weapons in the galaxy." Courtiers and officials lined the hallways, observing the human and the princess with a mixture of curiosity, suspicion, and admiration. As Alex and Larara entered the palace, the magnitude of the Zelari culture became clear. Every surface gleamed with polished energy crystal, symbols of history and tradition etched into the walls. Holographic banners floated above, displaying the royal crest. The air was filled with a faint hum of energy, a constant reminder of the planet's advanced technology. The princess led Alex through corridors lined with dignitaries. Whispers followed them, the crowd speculating about the human who had accomplished the impossible. Many were skeptical, unsure how to react. Some regarded him with awe, others with barely concealed disdain. In either case, Alex's calm confidence commanded attention. Humans were unpredictable, and unpredictability, he knew, was a form of power. Finally, they arrived at the audience chamber, a massive hall bathed in soft light. At the far end sat the Zelari monarch, Larara's mother. Her presence was commanding, regal, and formidable. She wore a robe of shimmering energy threads, her hair a flowing cascade of silver that seemed to float in the air. Her eyes, sharp and discerning, locked onto Alex immediately. "Welcome," the monarch said, her voice deep and resonant. "I have heard of your deeds, human. You have risked your life to save my daughter. Many in my court doubt your worth. I am willing to see if they are mistaken. Yet in this palace, words are tested by deeds and loyalty by trials. Are you prepared to prove yourself further?" Some exchanged skeptical glances, while others leaned forward, intrigued by the human's audacity. The monarch nodded once, slowly. "Very well. You will undergo the trials that determine your worth in the eyes of the Zelari. They are tests of logic, courage, and morality. Fail, and the consequences may be severe. Succeed, and you will gain not only my respect, but the acknowledgement of all Zelari that your species is remarkable." While the simulations were complex, they relied on predictable patterns. Alex relied on intuition and human creativity, spotting subtle clues that others overlooked. In each challenge, he anticipated the outcome, often choosing solutions that no Zelari could have predicted. Meanwhile, Larara watched from the observation platform. Pride shone in her eyes. She had known humans were capable, but seeing Alex navigate challenges so deftly was inspiring. His methods were unorthodox, yet effective. The court officials whispered among themselves, slowly shifting from doubt to admiration. Next came the trial of courage. Alex was faced with a simulated crisis. An energy vessel containing volatile crystals threatened to explode and destroy the palace. Advanced Zelari robots could neutralize the threat, but the simulation introduced unpredictable variables. Alex acted decisively, combining logic with instinct. He climbed into the unstable chamber, manually stabilizing the crystals using tools improvised from available equipment. The room shook, energy arcs sparking dangerously, yet he remained focused. By the time the simulation ended, the threat was neutralized. The monarch observed silently, her expression unreadable. "You risked yourself where others would have relied on machines. This is unusual, yet it demonstrates qualities that even the most advanced technology cannot replicate. Sometimes, the tools you carry are less important than the mind and heart guiding them." Alex hesitated briefly, then chose to protect the civilians, improvising a solution that minimized loss while saving lives. The monarch's eyes softened. "You act with wisdom and compassion. You weigh consequences, yet you choose what is just. That is rare even among my own people." The court fell silent, awaiting her judgment. She stopped a few feet away, her eyes piercing. "You have passed where most would fail. You have shown courage, intelligence, and morality beyond what I expected from a human. Your species may be young among the stars, yet you embody qualities that make you worthy of respect and alliance. My actions were guided not by ambition, but by principle. Qualities that cannot be measured by technology alone." "He is human." They had survived countless dangers, navigated hostile territory, and now faced the most important challenge of all, recognition. Humans had proven that courage, ingenuity, and compassion could achieve what technology alone could not. As they left the chamber, Larara whispered, "You've changed everything, Alex. Not just for me, but for all of us." The princess had been saved, but more importantly, humans had gained their first meaningful recognition in the wider galaxy. The journey was far from over, but Alex Rowan had already made history. The palace was quieter now, but the air remained heavy with expectation. Alex Rowan had passed the initial trials, yet the monarch's gaze reminded him that recognition was never fully granted without final proof. The halls shimmered with energy fields, reflecting centuries of tradition and pride. Every step Alex took resonated through the polished floor, and every eye followed him, some with admiration, others with suspicion. Princess Larara walked beside him, her presence a quiet support. She had learned to trust him completely over the past weeks. Together, they had navigated hostile planets, evaded pirates, and now faced the intricate web of Zelari politics. Alex understood that survival in the court required more than courage. It required patience, wit, and a sense of fairness. Qualities that humans often had in abundance. The monarch's chambers opened before them, vast and luminous. The walls were lined with symbols of the Zelari's greatest victories, their histories encoded in glowing panels. At the center of the room stood the monarch herself, her posture regal, eyes sharp, assessing Alex with the same intensity he had grown accustomed to during battle. "You have proven bravery, intelligence, and morality," she said. "But the final trial tests loyalty, adaptability, and the ability to lead when all seems lost. Humans are known for their unpredictability. Let us see if your kind can uphold the highest ideals of the Zelari as well. I will do whatever is necessary to demonstrate my worth. Every trial seemed carefully crafted to exploit weaknesses, yet his human instincts told him there was always a path forward. The first scenario began immediately. Alex found himself in a simulation of a diplomatic crisis. Two neighboring planets were on the brink of war over contested resources, and both sides had contacted the Zelari for assistance. The advisors in the simulation provided conflicting advice. Alien algorithms predicted one outcome, the Monarch expected another, yet the decision ultimately fell on him. Alex paused, considering the information. Humans thrived on ambiguity. They did not always rely on certainty. They acted based on observation, intuition, and principle. He weighed the options carefully, identifying a compromise that preserved peace without sacrificing fairness. The simulation responded instantly. The crisis resolved successfully, and the projected casualties were minimized. Larara watched from above, eyes wide. "He sees possibilities that the others do not," she whispered. "His mind, it is unlike anything I've seen." Alex, however, combined logic, improvisation, and human instinct. He identified weak points in the barrier, used limited resources to create safe passages, and guided the simulated civilians to safety. The simulation ended, and the panel flashed a bright green. Success. Yet Alex did not pause to celebrate. He knew the final test would challenge him in ways no previous scenario had. Finally, the trial of loyalty and leadership began. A council simulation was presented, filled with advisors who questioned his decisions, rival factions who attempted to manipulate outcomes, and a scenario that seemed unwinnable. A crucial negotiation had failed, a rebellion threatened to erupt, and key allies were on the verge of abandoning their posts. Alex felt the pressure, yet he remained calm. Humans had a way of thriving under pressure, seeing opportunities where others only saw danger. Alex began by listening carefully to each simulated advisor, analyzing motives and priorities. He identified those who acted in self-interest versus those who genuinely sought peace. Then, he made decisions that balanced strategy with morality. He reassured allies, neutralized dissent through logic rather than force, and anticipated the moves of the opposing factions. Slowly, the rebellion stabilized, negotiations reopened, and order was restored. The monarch observed silently, her expression unreadable. Many officials in the room had doubted Alex's ability to manage such complexity, yet his actions demonstrated that human intuition, courage, and leadership could succeed where rigid adherence to protocol might fail. When the simulation ended, the room fell silent. The monarch's gaze softened, and she spoke in measured tones. "You have demonstrated qualities that surpass mere survival. You have shown loyalty, leadership, and an understanding of morality that reflects not only your species but the highest ideals of the Zelari. Few, even among my people, could achieve such balance under pressure. Your actions have convinced me. Humanity, it seems, is capable of far more than many of my kind anticipated. You have proven that courage, ingenuity, and compassion can achieve what technology and protocol alone cannot. You have earned not only my respect, but the acknowledgement of all who witnessed your trials." Some still wore cautious expressions, but others nodded in approval. The tides of opinion were shifting. Humans, once considered weak and insignificant, were now recognized as capable, resilient, and morally sound. Larara approached Alex, her hand resting lightly on his arm. "You've done it," she said softly. "You've proven that humans are more than anyone imagined. Not just to my mother, but to everyone here. Let it be known throughout the Zelari realms. A human has earned the highest recognition, not by strength of weapon or wealth of technology, but by wisdom, bravery, and unwavering integrity. This is a lesson to all who doubt humanity's potential. I hope this opens a path for understanding and alliance between our worlds. Your actions here may inspire new generations to value courage and morality over fear and prejudice. Humans have always risen to challenges. We will continue to show the galaxy what we can do." They could navigate danger, solve impossible problems, and act with courage and morality in ways that even the most advanced species could not anticipate. Larara walked beside him, her expression thoughtful. "My people have relied on technology and tradition for centuries. Yet you've proven that heart, intelligence, and adaptability can change outcomes even in the most difficult situations. Mother will now prepare for the public acknowledgement of your deeds. You've earned it, Alex. Everyone will see what I've known all along. Humans are extraordinary. But if it helps humans earn respect, then I'm glad. Humans will be remembered here for generations, thanks to you. Humans, small and underestimated, had proven their worth not through brute force, but through courage, ingenuity, and unwavering moral clarity. The palace seemed to glow a little brighter as they walked, a symbol of the potential for understanding and alliance. The monarch had seen the truth, the court had acknowledged it, and the princess now knew without doubt that humans were a force to be reckoned with. Alex Rowan had survived impossible odds, rescued a royal princess, and earned the recognition of a civilization far beyond his own. Yet more importantly, he had shown that humanity, in its unique way, could stand proudly among the stars. And the galaxy, though vast and full of unknown challenges, would never look at humans the same way again. The Zelari capital glowed under the twin suns, a city alive with energy, history, and expectation. Word had spread quickly through the palace and beyond. A human, Captain Alex Rowan, had not only rescued Princess Lorara, but had proven himself in the eyes of the monarch. For centuries, humans had been underestimated by many alien civilizations, dismissed as primitive or weak. Now, the galaxy was about to witness the true value of humanity. Alex walked beside Lorara as they entered the Grand Hall, where the monarch intended to formally recognize his deeds. The chamber was immense, filled with Zelari officials, diplomats from other worlds, and scholars who had studied humans from afar. Every gaze was fixed on him, curious, skeptical, or impressed. Alex remained calm. Humans had a way of standing firm in the face of uncertainty, and he had learned long ago that confidence often mattered more than reputation. Princess Lorara turned to him, her eyes shining with gratitude. Today, everyone will see what I have known since the moment you rescued me. Humans are extraordinary. These qualities define our species. Captain Alex Rowan has demonstrated courage, intelligence, and moral clarity that surpass even the expectations of our most advanced civilizations. The assembly leaned forward, eager to witness this extraordinary moment. Alex stepped forward, bowing respectfully. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I am honored by your recognition. I did not act for reward or fame. I acted because it was the right thing to do. Humanity has always believed in helping others, in standing against impossible odds, and in finding solutions where none seem possible. That is what I bring, and that is what my species represents. Today, humanity earns its first recognition in Zelari history, not by force or conquest, but by courage, ingenuity, and moral integrity. The perception of Alex Rowan became the perception of all humans, and it was transformative. Princess Lorara approached Alex, taking his hand and leading him toward the monarch. "Mother, you see now what I have known all along. He is human, yes, but extraordinary in ways we never imagined. Captain Rowan, your deeds have bridged a gap that many thought insurmountable. You have earned the respect of my people and the gratitude of my daughter. By your actions, humans are now recognized as worthy allies, capable of wisdom, courage, and loyalty. You have changed perceptions that have lasted for centuries. I am grateful, Your Majesty. My goal has never been personal glory, but to prove that humans, as a species, can rise to any challenge. This recognition is not mine alone. It belongs to all who act with heart, courage, and determination. Humans will now be seen differently, respected, and perhaps even trusted in ways they never were before. Captain Rowan has proven that even the smallest, seemingly fragile beings can influence the course of history when guided by heart and intellect." The celebration continued as dignitaries approached Alex to offer greetings and congratulations. Some were tentative, unsure how to interact with a human, yet Alex's calm demeanor and humility won them over. Others were openly impressed, marveling at the resourcefulness, courage, and quick thinking that had allowed a human to navigate challenges far beyond their expectations. Princess Lorara remained at his side, her eyes reflecting pride and admiration. "You've done something incredible, Alex, not just for me, but for all humans. You've shown the galaxy what we can do. Tomorrow, perhaps we'll show even more. Your actions have opened doors for understanding and cooperation that will endure for generations. Let it be known throughout the Zelari realms, humanity is no longer underestimated. Let this day mark a new era of alliance, respect, and shared understanding. My people will never forget this, and we will continue to do so." Larara and Alex walked together through the palace gardens, the vibrant flora glowing with bioluminescence. "What happens now?" she asked, glancing at him. Alex looked at the horizon, thoughtful. "Now we continue. There are alliances to strengthen, trust to build, and opportunities to show the galaxy what humans can contribute. Today was a milestone, not the end. The universe is vast, and there is still so much to do. But one thing is certain. When we face challenges, we face them fully with courage and determination." Now, thanks to the bravery and ingenuity of one human, they were seen differently. Princess Larara looked at Alex, her voice filled with quiet awe. "You've done more than I ever imagined. You've changed everything. But if today proves anything, it's that courage, creativity, and compassion can change perceptions, open doors, and shape the future. That's what being human is about." Alex Rowan had been the catalyst, demonstrating that small, underestimated beings could rise to greatness through heart, intelligence, and determination. And as the twin moons rose over the capital, bathing the city in soft light, the galaxy itself seemed to acknowledge a new era, one in which humans would no longer be underestimated, dismissed, or ignored. Alex Rowan had not only rescued a princess and survived impossible odds, but he had also changed history. Humans were no longer merely observers of the galaxy. They were participants, capable of courage, ingenuity, and moral strength. The galaxy would remember this day and humanity's place among the stars forever. For Alex, it was not about glory or fame. It was about showing what humans could do when they chose to act with heart, courage, and determination. And that, more than anything, was a victory worth celebrating. The future stretched before them, vast and uncertain, but filled with promise. Humanity had taken its first bold step into a larger world, and with courage, intelligence, and morality guiding them, there was no limit to what they could achieve. And somewhere deep in the stars, countless civilizations would learn to respect, fear, and admire the human spirit, thanks to one man who refused to accept impossible odds and one princess who trusted him completely. The galaxy had changed, humanity had arrived,